My name is Suzee Miller. I'm an author, educator, and a Feng Shui consultant. It's a pleasure today to bring you some information on EMF and EMR. We're talking about electromagnetic fields of energy or radiation. I have as a guest today somebody who's an expert on the smart meter, which I'm really enthusiastic about telling you more information on this because it's taken me by surprise, and actually I'm taking a big stand on it right now. So next to me is Jerry Day, and Jerry, I want to welcome you and thank you for joining me.
Not an expert, but I hope I can help you.
All right. I wanted to let you know that EMF has been around in our Feng Shui community for at least a decade or two now. But what's really exciting, Jerry, is that it's hitting critical mass. Not just within the Feng Shui community, but we're talking about the lay public as well, which is very, very exciting. And if you may know or you may not know, but everything in the universe is energy. So with this energy, all life forms, whether it be an animal or a human being, is embraced by fields of energy that surround us. In fact, at a quantum level, we're actually made up of ions, minerals, and water, and we become actually conductors of electricity itself. So it's very important that we fine-tune our bodies and our homes and our environments so that we always stay in perfect harmony and balance. However, we're always being embraced by electrical fields of magnetic energy and radiation in the home and the workplace. So we want to make sure that we don't do anything to damage our autoimmune system, our health, our brain, our body energies, such as our metabolism, or anything that would deny us the ability to heal ourselves. So with this in mind, oftentimes we think of radiation as high tension wires, or we think of it as, these electric transformers, or if we go to the doctor, it's an X-ray machine. But what we're really talking about today that I'd like to share with you is what I would call invisible energy, or invisible EMF and EMR, which is the low frequency radiation that we actually can't see, but it's everywhere within our home and work environments. And I'm referring to things like microwaves, televisions, your monitor screen, your computer, even a hair dryer, an electric shaver, or a electric blanket, would you believe, has this EM energy racing through it, and it can actually do damage, harmful damage to our endocrine system, our autoimmune system, and even to our reproductive systems. Especially, I have found, Jerry, with small children. So the reason for bringing Jerry on with me today, and I'm going to turn the show over to him basically right now, is I'm taking a stand as a human being on the removal of what we call smart meters that are being installed in our homes right now and in our businesses, actually everywhere. And it's not localized. It's not in just our cities or our counties or states or even in America. We're talking about the globe in general. And so there are, I don't know how many hundreds of countries that already have the smart meter in. But Jerry is a wonderful advocate of educating the public on the dangers and the risks of what we call the smart meter and how to replace it. So with that, Jerry,
I want to go back. You were talking about how we are conductors.
Yes.
What all of these devices do is they generate electromagnetic radiation, and that induces currents into your body. So the devices you have around you, whether they're, like you say, the transformers on the light pole, or whether they're your own space heater in your house, they're creating these electromagnetic fields and potentials, and they do affect anything that's conductive around. And your body is not only conductive, but it operates with electricity. It is an electrical device itself. And so we just want to go over, I guess, real quickly and explain something about how to tell what you've got. This is actually an analog meter, and this meter is a safe one. It does not emit any electromagnetic radiation, any appreciable amount of it. It has no transmitting capability, and it doesn't have what's called a switching mode power supply because it's electromechanical. As soon as you make this digital, you have to convert some of the alternating current into direct current, and that's called a switching mode power supply, and that disrupts the current badly, and it disrupts what's called the sine wave, and so you have a dirty signal, and that dirty signal turns into radio frequency, and that is transmitted through your wiring of your house. Your house becomes an antenna for dirty electricity. So there's two problems if you have a digital meter. One is the transmitted signals, the data that's collecting about you and your personal activities in the home, storing that data and then transmitting it. The transmission of that data is high energy density pulsed radiation, very dangerous, very destructive to biological tissues. The disrupted sine wave is the dirty electricity, and that's a different issue, and that is coming into your house in the form of electric or electromagnetic smog. You have a sort of a dirty, wavering current coming through your house, which is also destructive to biological tissues, but it's a different attack. Some people report getting symptoms from that, and not so much the pulsed energy. The pulsed energy can affect other people. Everybody's different in size, in hydration, in DNA construct, in all kinds of variables. And so you will find every single person will have a different reaction, a different symptomatic reaction to electromagnetic energy. Unfortunately, your meters now, the digital meters, the smart meters, are very, very much a player in the generation of electromagnetic energy in your home, whereas the old safe analog meters are not. So, did I miss anything?
No, but Jerry, can you tell them about how it affects young people the most? And
Right.
you even mentioned to me the other day about animals and especially sensitive human beings as well, initially.
Right. Animals seem to be more sensitive. There are a lot of reports of pets dying, not so many reports of humans dying. The humans that are going to die are the ones that are not aware or not being careful about their pacemakers, their medical devices, their life-supporting equipment, that the doctors and the hospitals tell them very clearly, do not go into an electromagnetic field with this pacemaker or with this device. And you don't go through the airport and go through the scanner with your pacemaker on. You know these things. You don't go operate the microwave oven. And the smart meter is going to give you the same kind of problems, especially if you're in close proximity to it. But children are far more susceptible just because they're developing. They're smaller. The radiation that maybe can't penetrate a larger body as well easily penetrates the smaller body. And the additional risk is, as we discussed before, the reproductive risk, where girls are born with all of their eggs when they're born, and they carry those eggs their whole lives. Well, those eggs are susceptible to all this electromagnetic radiation, and you're going to have birth defects if your daughter is sleeping near a smart meter. You're going to have permanent, irreparable harm to her DNA in her eggs, and so that's obviously not just a problem of protecting your daughter, but protecting every generation after that by keeping these meters away from her, from age 0, even during pregnancy, all the way through her reproductive years.
Yes, and Jerry, I just read an article, very interesting article, that they're doing some research right now where they have realized that in the last 2 decades, there's been such a high increase in the number of autistic children and the number of children suffering from ADD, ADH. And they're now researching this, that maybe the possibility is living in saturated fields of electromagnetic energy. And of course, would you say that this just like amps up everything, like what, tenfold in your house? Or
I don't know what the metric would be, but it's another device that's very, very much causing and infusing the environment with electromagnetic radiation in, as I mentioned, 2 ways: the pulse transmitted radiation and the dirty electricity from the switching mode power supply. So this is a real enemy of a healthy environment. Not this. This happens to be a safe analog meter, but the smart meter, the digital meter, and you'll know the difference because the digital meter has a little LED display on the front like a digital clock. It's that kind of that black on gray digital rectangular display. Your safe analog meter will have a flat wheel and it will have just some kind of mechanical numerical display. And so, yeah, you definitely want to try to get that digital meter off of your house and go back to the safe analog meter. They work perfectly well for 50 years, 100 years, whatever they've had these things around. They had no trouble billing you. There's no reason why they even have to send a meter reader out to your house. In the United Kingdom, they just look at this and they call in the number and they check it randomly. So there's no problem at all. There's no reason for meter readers. There's no problem, and you shouldn't have to have a digital meter. The only thing the digital meter is doing that this doesn't do is collect data on you and transmit it in the form of electromagnetic energy through your house. None of that is a benefit to you. It does not benefit you to have your personal activities in your home recorded in the form of data and transmitted to perfect strangers, God knows where.
By the way, this for the viewers, this happens to be my new analog meter. I just discovered not even, oh my gosh, what was it, just a month ago, that I have a smart meter on my home. I won't even get into all the things that I've experienced since that's happened. But Jerry and I did do a teleconference call seminar, question and answer that you can actually find on my website, which is www. Feng Shui, spelled Feng, and then Shui.com. And if you click onto a link called Electromagnetic Protection, you'll find a wonderful interview with Jerry Day. It was an hour and a half interview. It blew us all away. And especially if you're a landlord or a homeowner, you definitely want to listen to the recorded call that we did. But this is my analog that I ordered through freedomtaker.com, and that's FREEDOM Taker, TAKER.com. And this just arrived about 2 days ago, and Jerry, I know it comes with a package, and Jerry has spent hours and hours and endless time. In fact, if you don't mind, I'm going to open it right now. And
I'll explain that.
Okay.
It's very important. You're going to have an easement agreement with your power company. They say, we have an easement, we can go read your power meter. Well, they're also going to say, we can come in and we can switch your meter, we can put anything on there we want. And you're going to say, no, you can't. You don't have an easement to broadcast electromagnetic energy into my home. You don't have an easement to put a surveillance device, which is essentially what this is, on my home. And so there's going to be a conflict with your power company if you change this meter out. They're going to think, oh, we're entitled to do this, and you're going to be saying, no, you're not. So you have to resolve that legally and do that properly, or you will get in trouble. And so what we did was we created a legal paperwork where it's an affidavit. You're going to fill this out. You're going to put your power company's name in here. It's a 6-page document, and it tells the power company, you are breaking the law. This is wiretapping. This is emission of unhealthful, cancer-causing, neurologically damaging, birth defect-causing electromagnetic radiation. It violates the law, it violates our health and safety, and it must go, and you have no legal recourse against that. You send the official notice, you give them a reasonable amount of time to change the meter out. It can be 21 days if you want to give them plenty of time. If there's a health issue, a lot of people get symptoms when they get their smart meter and they need to get that thing off right away. You give them 1 day, 2 days, 7 days, but that is done with the legal notice. And you get a CD-ROM here so you can edit the file yourself, and you put in your name and your power company name. And when you do that and you send it, you actually get it notarized and you sign it under penalty of perjury. And that means that you've created law and fact that they have to rebut with a sworn statement by a responsible party with first-hand knowledge, and they can't deny that they're violating the law. So what that document does is give you the full authority to go ahead and change your meter. You need the document and the notice first, and then you change your meter. You get all of that in this kit from freedomtaker.com.
And not only that, I wanted to let you know, it is so reasonable to do this. I believe I didn't spend more than $49 on this analog meter, which is going to go up next week into my property. But I wanted to let you know some of the immediate signs that you might experience the minute that you get a smart meter placed on your property would be things like nausea, headaches,
insomnia.
Insomnia is
right.
a
Lack
huge
of concentration, heart palpitations.
Yes.
And then more serious long-term is the cancer, is the neurological symptoms. And when I say neurological symptoms, I mean on the end of that road is Parkinson's disease. But this is an electrical disruption device, or not this, but a smart meter, a digital meter is doing that. So that's a neurological effect, and birth defects, DNA deconstruction of biological tissues. That's what electromagnetic radiation does. Scientists know that. They can't tell you it doesn't. No one can tell you it doesn't. It's all well proven and well known and well understood. There's no debate about that at all.
In fact, we have on our website at fengshuiplaza.com all the information that you need, all the research that's been done, websites about the research that's been done, as well as books. But I wanted to let you know immediately, if you sense a change in your body chemistry, once the smart meter goes on, please take action right away. Contact freedomtaker.com and order an analog with your kit. It comes with everything, very self-explanatory, and you submit this to your local utility company, and you can even outline all the symptoms or the problems that you've experienced. A lot of people have had hair loss, bleeding gums, problems with their teeth, achy joints, bones, muscles, nausea, insomnia, like Jerry said, immediately. So please don't wait. This is your life. It matters. What we want to do in Feng Shui is always maintain a healthy living space, and that includes our workspace as well. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Jerry?
No, we got to get out of here. We're over time.
Okay.
Good luck.
Take care, and thank you so much for listening.